There we go. Oh, man, my mouth still hurts from eating some fucking oil fried food earlier. Ugh, nothing worse. Let's see, how's my audio doing? Alright, I'm not too bad. Get everything ready. Do, do, do. And this one goes my characters. Sweet. Alright. Do. Hopefully, we'll actually have the whole group here today. Otherwise, I'm gonna be very upset. But we shall see. Do. Okay. Do. Boom, ba boom. What am I looking for? Oh yeah. Oh man, damn oil. Never eat oily food, I tell you. Okay. Alright. Cool. Just chill out and wait for everyone to join. Get ready for Rejected Potential's season, our second season, as we get all things going. Starting with the fact that they're all like injured to all hell. Poor Zaya's like near death. Ven's near like halfway to death. E2's somewhat injured, and of course Dolkin's fine. Always a healthy lad. Oh man. Boom ba boom boom. Alright. Oh man. If you're in chat, feel free to start giving some ideas or anything that you think's gonna happen today. Or just ask questions as I'm sitting here waiting for the others to join, because, you know, I'm bored. I should get some campaign music going here.
Hey.
Yo! Holy crap,
Where the heck is everybody?
that scared me. That was part of the video I just turned on. I was like, wait, why am I hearing Fell's
I'm
voice?
talking directly to you.
I was like, what the? Because I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Legends.
No, I haven't.
It's an older flick. I think it's from like the early '90s or late '80s. But anyways, no, I literally just hit play as you said something. I was like, what the hell?
The movie is talking to you.
I was like, wait, I don't remember that in the intro sound music. Oh man, give me a heart attack there for a second.
I'm sorry.
No worries. Dulkin, you're older. Have you ever seen the movie Legends?
No.
Oh fuck, goddamn. Wait, I think it's Steve Curry, maybe? Oh, let me look. Legends cast. Sean Bean, of course. Wait, no, that's the wrong one. That's let me see. Oh, I know it's a fucking Steve Curry movie. Buscemi, is that the? No, that's not Buscemi. Wait, is that it? No. God damn it! Now I gotta find the name of this movie. I know I have the right movie. I just can't remember what. Cause they made a movie, and I think like the earlier 2000s or maybe later, about the Cray brothers. That's also named the same thing. But the movie I'm thinking of is 1985. There we go. That's it. And let me see. Okay. Let's see if I can find the cast. Who the fuck is the guy's name? Tim Curry. Steve Curry. Wow. That's
Very close.
very no, very different people though. Oh man. But Zaya said she'd be in here in a little bit, and Cameron, God knows what he's up to today. Speaking of the devil, and she shall appear. Hi, Zaya.
How am I the devil?
Well, you appeared.
Well, hello. Apologies if there's any background noise. My sister has a friend over and they're annoyingly loud.
Oh, the Chihuahua's out and about.
Oh yeah, and she brought another Chihuahua friend.
Ooh, nothing like having a pack of them.
Yeah, no.
Wait, real dogs?
No,
Well, I have Chihuahua mixed dogs, but no, I'm talking about my sister.
You call your sister a chihuahua?
actually,
The
to be
DM
fair,
started it.
I started
Yeah.
calling her that because she's very yippity. And
Oh
so
yeah.
I started calling her a Chihuahua, and it pissed her off. So I just kept doing it because it stuck.
Yep, it's now her title.
Mhm. Yeah, just like Tren is always going to be Tren, even though that has nothing to do with any of his gamer names or anything like that. It just became Tren. So,
How did you come up with that?
well, Tren actually had he was Tren like 10 or Tren 11 in chat, and so he joined on to the D&D stream after I decided to finally put something up, and he introduced himself as Cosmic Chicken, and I was like, no, you're Tren from now on. And that's just because that was his one
Wow.
for only like 2 days. That was his Steam or his Twitch name, and that stuck. I've never called him Michael or anything like that. It's just like Wolf, We don't call him Warren. We all call him Wolf, even though Wolf isn't even technically a name in his like full name, because I think the name is Wolfgang or something like that, and that's his middle name. So yeah, some people just get weird names. Fraz, shortened for Frazelli, because it was easier to pronounce. And Cameron's just a little asshole. So get used to that
My
one.
name's just always badly misspelled.
Actually, to be fair, it's because I couldn't spell Trent's mother's name, and so when I made the mistake and you got upset, I was like, oh, that worked. All right, we're gonna go with that. If you hadn't been bothered by
This
it,
way, it's just all the people in the school who just assumed my name was spelled M-I-A. I'm just like, it's not, but okay.
oh, I always spell it Meeya.
No, it's M-Y-A. It's
Well,
just my with an A on it. It's nothing exciting.
well, that's unfortunate.
Yep. You know what's also unfortunate? My initials spell me.
Uh,
M-E. Yep. Oh yeah.
Don't ever become a lawyer then, because no one wants to work with the firm of me.
It's
That doesn't come
funny
out well.
because my family's always like, "You're so smart. You could be a lawyer." I'm like, I don't know about that.
Become a dentist, you'll make more. Lawyers cap out at 180K, while dentists cap out at 200K.
It's because they gotta do stuff on teeth.
I'm sorry, I'd rather have broken teeth than end up in prison. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, if you go in prison, you'll probably have broken teeth. So.
There you go. See, so I don't need the dentist to be paid more than my lawyer. Oh man, I don't know. I mean, it depends. Also, the guys who run RIT get paid less than that, depending on what they're doing. So, Doken, what's the average annual wage in your field? Out of curiosity.
I don't know what it is off the top of my head. It's just IT work at whatever you.
So I'm gonna guess between 60 to 80K probably. Is
That
a
sounds
safe
right.
bet. Yeah. So you're about the same as I am. Wow. That's interesting. There's something to look forward to, Fel, when you go into programming.
Oh boy.
Great paycheck.
You're doing programming?
Yeah.
Cool.
Why do you sound so sad about that, Fel?
Oh, I'm not sad. I'm just in a mood right now.
Uh-oh. What
I'll
happened?
get better as the night goes on.
Is it because it's Monday tomorrow?
No, I'm just always depressed, so it's alright.
Oh.
God damn it. Well, just means we have to go out more, Fel. I'm telling you. Get Tren, and I'll drag you two to go do stuff.
Sure, I wouldn't mind.
Good to hear. But no alcohol, cause even D&D, I worry about you.
Oh wow. No, I used to beg my parents to sneak me drinks, but now I don't anymore. It's not my
Is that why
thing.
you became a rogue?
Doesn't comment. That's more ominous than anything else. Oh man, gods. I can't believe I'm almost done with this term, halfway through next week, and then I got one term left, and I'm out.
Best of
Woo.
luck.
Yeah. Tell me about
I
it.
have a program in my school I'm going to be doing soon where I'm going to be taking college classes soon, so
Oh, you
yeah.
poor soul.
Good
Yeah.
luck. That's gonna kill you.
I'm gonna be
Yep.
honest. Here's how what college is, and this is the best way I can explain. Dilkin can probably back me up on this. College it goes one of two ways. Either you're the person who's gonna have to do group work for four other people and do the entire project while they put their names on it, or secondly, you're gonna be the asshole that no one likes because you just show up to group work and never do anything, and then the one kid
Oh,
does everything for you.
I'm the first because that's how I'm already am in school.
Yeah, then college is gonna suck for you.
Yeah.
Because people are gonna pair up with you and want to be friendly. And just remember that class friends are good friends because they know where all the good food is. And will go like legitimately. That's about the only thing they're useful for. Uh, most of the people I've become friends with in college, I probably won't ever see again once I get out. But during college, I have found some of the best eateries for cheap in Portland. Like this amazing little burrito place that has the best vegetarian burrito I've ever had. So, yeah, and it was only like $7, and I got
All
like a
right.
pound of burrito. Oh, it was so fucking awesome.
I'll make sure when I meet people, I ask them their favorite places to go eat.
Yep. And then depending on your city, there's also always a second vice for Portland. It's coffee. If you want to know the best coffee places around, ask a college student. I mean,
Mm.
there's a reason we have a Starbucks literally every other block in downtown. And I'm not joking, sadly. It's an actual thing.
Well, I'm not a coffee person, but
You will be.
yeah, no, from what I hear, yeah.
Looking out of curiosity, man, did you get through college without ever having to deal with like long binges of coffee?
I don't think I've ever drinking coffee.
Really? Wow.
No.
I
All right,
think I
that's
tried it once.
unique.
I tried it once and I hated it.
See, I was the same way at your age. As I got older, that changed just because of the fact that I like the feeling of what caffeine did. But I also don't drink, so that might be the reason why I'm more like that.
Mm.
Plus, Portland's a big coffee city. We're big on brewing beer and coffee. So, well, I'll be honest, most of the beer here
A
tastes like
deadly
water.
mix.
Beer, honestly, in Portland to me tastes like crap. I prefer foreign beer because they have a lot sweeter stuff and it's not nearly as strong. So yeah, but can't wait to hear how the college classes go for you. I skipped out of that stuff when I was in
Yeah.
high school, and I'm so
The
happy I did.
there the thing is with the program is that the school pays for everything, even including the books.
Mhm.
So it's like I'm not from the like most financially rich family. So like if they're gonna pay for it, I'm at least gonna try, you
Hey,
know.
yeah, free credits. I mean, I say go for it if you feel like you can
Uh-huh.
do it.
Yeah, cause like I hear how bad student loans and stuff like that get. It's like I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, my recommendation is make sure you kind of figure out have a general idea how your finances will work and know what you're
Mm.
getting into when you're signing on for loans. I mean, you don't have to pay back grants. but due to the fact that you're under 24, you're not going to get as much as someone who is older and considered independent by the federal government. So your Pell, your depending on what your state offers, you might also get a couple of extra grants. Like here in Oregon, we get some grant if you're over 24 special because they want you to go back to college. Basically, it's their way of making sure you go back, but it's only like $250 for, per term, which isn't that much. Considering one of my classes is about $500. Um, but let's see, and then you also get there's a few. You'll also get work study most likely if you're considered low income. Um, and yeah, remember the fact that the income is based on. Or the big thing when you fill out your FAFSA, I recommend if the house that you live in or the apartment or whatever isn't in your parents' name, write that you do not live with your parent, or put that you do not live with your parents. Not only will you get more grant money, but you're not technically lying, so it's actually a legal thing. That will get you so much more, no joke. The Pell Grant will double almost because of that, and they might actually give you the full 6,000. So
Wow.
yeah,
I have another
that's
question.
feel free.
So if the program goes for like, I think I start later the sophomore year, but it goes to like my senior year, and even like after the senior year,
Hmm.
I'll be doing it for another year. It's like a 4-year thing. Would that count as a freshman year? Like if I went to another college, like would I have to like dorm on campus, or could I do off campus stuff? Like
No,
college
you will
stuff
have
off
to be on
campus?
campus. But it's not it's based on the amount of credits you get is what your grade level is.
Oh.
Like for example, I'm a senior because I have over a certain amount of credits. However, when I started in college for my second time, I was considered a sophomore joining in because I already had over 100, or I already had over 50
Hmm.
credits due to my previous.
So if
But
I
it
have
depends
50
on the
credits,
university. I would recommend going to
oh,
community college first, so that way when you
that's what.
go to university, you don't have to deal with that.
Yeah, that's what the program is. It's with a community college.
Yeah, you won't be able to earn enough credits with with this to be considered past probably your sophomore year at most. Um, but most likely they're just going to have you go through math and writing, and like the basics that every degree requires. So math, English, and some sort of science class. And then you'll be able to do all your electives at the community college as well
Hmm.
as whatever your major courses are. And then you can transfer out to university, and they'll put you as a junior transfer. So you won't ever have to live in a dorm if you don't choose to, and because the universities are the only ones that require it, and they only require a freshman. As a junior transfer, or just even coming in as a sophomore transfer, you wouldn't. But you do need to make sure you've earned the amount of credits according to the university. My other thing is make sure to once you get into community college, figure out what college you want or what university you want to go to. Start applying your freshman year. Once you've gotten in, go and talk to an advisor, or just go onto the website and see if you can make an appointment with the advisor without applying to find out what credits you need specifically to transfer. For example, when I was an accounting major, I had to have micro and macroeconomics under my belt. Otherwise, I could not transfer with my accounting degree, which isn't at all to do anything with accounting, but they required that. So you need to make sure when you're going to going to plan out what university you're going to transfer to, that you know what credits are going to transfer and what ones aren't. And they have a program set up for that typically. So,
Okay. I have a
um,
problem, like, if for
mhm.
off-campus housing, are there like a lot of pet regulations and stuff like that? Or
I
no?
don't
Is
live
that
on
just like the
campus.
dorms?
It
Oh.
personally, so I would say I do know that a lot of the dorms do require or have a size limit. Like they allow cats, but they only allow so many. Some
Hmm.
dorms are more stricter than others. Like at Portland State, we have three different classifications of dorms. We have yeah, I see you, Cameron. We're gonna start here in 11 minutes. So if you need to run to the restroom or anything, now's the time. Um, but yeah, so um, if you do live on campus, it will depend on the type of dorm you get put in. Some are like apartments, some are like an actual dorm on campus. We've got a dorm that's as old as the 1950s. I would not want to live in the damn thing because it has very poor ventilation and smells. God, does it smell so bad in that building. But then we also have the luxury apartments that you can dorm at, but they cost more, and you are going to be roomed with like 4 people. So it does kind of depend on what dorm you're assigned. And I think a lot of times the dorm assignment is based on your grade that you're transferring in at, what your degree is in, because typically they'll try and match you with people, hopefully with are in the similar field. At least that's how PSU works. I don't know about other colleges, but because the Art Institute's dorm, they just set everyone up at Goose Hollow, and that's it. And that place was disgusting. I dated a chick from there. She had 5 roommates in an apartment that was smaller than my office. Well, to be fair, the girl I wasn't too upset. That girl was a pain in the ass.
As an antisocial person, that sounds like hell.
Oh, you're gonna get a roommate. There's a guarantee if you dorm. You're guaranteed a roommate. So, Duncan, did you live on campus or did you stay at home?
I did not live on campus.
Okay, so what do you remember what your what your university's policy was as far as like how they set up the dorms and all that?
I don't know the policies. We had a dorm building, and then we had a couple townhouses, and then some apartment buildings that were also technically dorm-ish.
Oh, okay. But you didn't know if they had what kind of rules they had besides
No, I
the
never
obvious.
bothered to learn those.
Yeah, to be fair, that is gonna be a pretty commonality too. I mean, I would never recommend living in dorm. My only reason stating that is not only because of the rent. You do have to pay rent while you're at dorm, which comes out of your financial aid. So if you don't have the money for it, it's gonna suck. But secondly, the fact is that a lot of partying goes on, and if you're antisocial and you'd like to not like to be able to study, it can be kind of rambunctious. I mean, it's not like the old days, that you see on movies and TV, but it from what I've seen and from what I've experienced, it can get pretty rough, especially around graduation. So, yeah. But living at home has a lot of perks, especially if you can just travel onto campus a lot easier. Public transit, is always the best option on that case because parking on campus is always a pain in the ass and costs a ton. Although my campus is urban, so that's probably why in the middle of downtown and the busiest city of the state. All right, I'm gonna run to the restroom real quick before we start. But you can also ask Dolkin questions about college since he went as well.
Okay. How common were like anti-pet policies for you, Dalkin? Because I was looking into it, and I hear like a lot of places like don't allow anything but like service animals.
I never stayed in the dorms, so I don't know specifics, but I don't think I ever saw any pets in dorms or the townhouses or anything. I think we just had a blanket, no pets,
Mm,
at least in
that
terms of
sucks.
cats and dogs.
Well, I heard like some places like allow fish, but like that's it. And it's like I
Yeah,
don't have a fish.
I wouldn't be surprised if people had like fish tanks, but I don't think there was ever cats or dogs.
Mm.
What kind of animal are you looking to bring with you?
Well, we have cats at the house that I mostly take care of, but one's like specifically kind of like mine. Like she's basically my child. So was my mom said she could take care of her, but I don't want to burden my mom with her if I can take her. And I'm also looking into possibly getting a snake or some kind of reptile in the future. So I need to look
Yeah,
into like
snake too.
What?
Uh,
What's going on?
what?
I just came back to. Oh shit, my door didn't shut. I just came back to hearing or seeing
Vent,
Cameron typing.
stop. Cameron, stop bothering me. I'm talking to people. What?
Dude. Ugh. There we go.
No.
Wait.
No, she's my cat. You can't take her.
What the hell?
Sugar is mine.
Wait, he's trying to put sugar in the pot? That's never good for a stew.
He's trying to take my cat Sugar, apparently. You have cats, Cameron. Stick to your own.
Don't you already have a child in that house? Don't you know cats and children don't mix very well?
Well, we have 2 cats, actually, but
Yeah.
one's basically a dog. So.
Oh, that's always good. Ugh, I'm not a cat person anymore. I will stick to pit bulls. They are so much easier. And they love you unconditionally. There's no,
Actually,
push
there's
away.
been research, and I read an article recently that cats love people and are more socially active then people first appear, they just don't display it in the same way dogs do. And when dogs are stressed, they tend to stick to people they care about to in like uncertain environments where they're scared, they'll like go to their humans. Cats will do the same thing. They just don't try to like climb all over you. There's actually been research on that.
Still,
It's
you know,
interesting.
I've been clawed and attacked more by cats than I ever have a dog. So
The only
gonna be
time I think
honest.
I've been clawed, if it like from my own cats, like when I was playing with them and they went to grab the toy and just happened to grab my hand.
Well, I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but I still got some scars left over from my great grandmother's cat when we had to go and catch it to give up to
Mm.
adoption. Big old Mancoon, was feisty,
Uh,
damn near tore my hand off.
our our cat, he's an unfixed male. He's like a year now. He's at least part Maine Coon. We don't think he's full, but he's like part Maine Coon. And he every time he escapes the house, he comes back with battle wounds, apparently fighting all the Toms in the neighborhood. And it's so stressful, and I get so mad, but he still does it. He literally came back yesterday with a big claw bite mark, whatever, on his front leg. And like the week before that, his eyes were all watery because he like got clawed in the eyes.
Jesus, something reminds me of the
No,
Warriors book series.
yeah. Yeah,
Oh, I
no,
love warrior
literally.
cats.
I tried to read it when I was younger, but I couldn't get the books. But it's like I literally once was outside looking for him, and I caught him mid-fight biting at the neck of a male cat,
Mhm.
like his size, but definitely older than him. And
Mhm.
like he chased the male cat off, so like I don't know, he's kind of scary. But he's
Hey, gotta prove your dominance.
no, yeah, definitely. That's all he does.
Oh man,
At
God.
least he got over the foot attacking phase, because when he was younger, all he did was bite my foot. And my foot specifically, he never bit my sister or my mother, even though I was the one who spent the most time with him. He bit my foot.
I wouldn't want to bite the Chihuahua. That thing sounds like it would scream a lot. Oh, I mean, you'd never hear the end of it. I mean, you imagine that? Uh-oh.
You
How
should
fi-
listen to Screaming Pigs. We had pigs
is there
like
a
a month or
difference?
two ago. Oh no, yeah, pigs when they scream are terrifying. We have the school is like a block or two down from our house, and they have like an FFA program where they have pigs and they raise them because it's like farming agriculture. I'm in the middle of nowhere, and they got loose and ended up in our yard. So I get off the bus after school to a group of 5 teenage boys chasing two full-size hogs around our garden, having to chase them into the bed of a truck, and they are screaming when they're caught, and it sounds like a D&D monster from the depths of the abyss. It was horrifying.
Be careful
And
because pigs can eat a full-grown man in like 30 minutes.
no, literally,
So,
they were like, it was so stressful to watch. I'm like, I just got home from school. I wanted to lay down. Now I'm outside watching this, and my mom's recording it, like
yep.
laughing, and I'm just like, what is life?
And this is why you don't eat pork.
No.
Ugh.
My mom literally bought bacon from the school earlier today that was from them. Well, not today, but earlier this week.
Did she ask, or did she see if it would scream as it sizzled?
No, apparently it didn't, but she said she should have got bacon for free because they raided our yard. But
Oh, though. No, thank you. I don't know. I mean, I can't eat pork anymore. I'm thankful for that. So, ugh.
yeah, no. They like tore our rose bush out of the ground.
Hey, you
Like
know what
out
that means? Those
front.
pigs were eating healthier than what they normally do. All right.
Yep.
Ugh.
No, yeah. They raided all our leftover tomatoes and everything.
Oh, quick, Dolkin. Are you having to leave early today, or are you good?
I got like 3 hours. I got plenty
Okay.
of time.
All right. I didn't know if you had hockey today or not. So.
It's at 8:15, so I got plenty of time.
Okay. So and it's what 5 there? So 3 hours.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, we'll get started. Even though it's a minute early. I don't think anybody's gonna complain. Uh, besides the fact that Cameron's still trying to cook a cat named Sugar. All right, last time we left off, much of the party probably doesn't remember anything, since that was probably about 3 weeks ago, I think now. Um, The party had managed to basically screw over Dragon's Gate by opening up not only a portal to let the High Elf Emporium's main troops into the city, but also allowing him to blast the gates open after being chased down by Zilpip and chased into the King's Head Tavern, where they managed to barely escape as Zaya jumped out of the door with Zilpip following right behind her, and then charging back in, tossing the gem that was Zilpip's all along, and basically closing the door behind her to strand poor Zilpip, because we all feel bad for that. Damn, am I fully healed by now? Yeah, everyone should be fully healed, and should have all their spell slots back, so feel free to add that. Um, about a month has gone by, since last you guys can remember, spending time with, Zelm, getting yourselves ready, getting yourselves, set up to be prepared for what would be to come, as he had mentioned, giving each of you individual missions, as you probably all fully recall. As the time has gone on, Zelm has had you lot working to help him close up the tavern, closing up dimension portals, getting rid of a few things, a couple coffins, a couple bodies, um, and getting everything basically organized and set up. And this time you are each able to get yourselves accustomed and attuned to any magical items you would have had, that you weren't already attuned to, as well as giving you plenty of time to do a little bit of research into your own minor quests, for those who do remember them. Alright, as we come back into the game, as you guys are starting to relax for the morning, um, you can see outside the windows. Do we have time to sell items? There would be no merchants inside the King's Head. No one has been there except for you lot and Zelm, who looks extremely old now, very gnarled, very rough around the edges at this point. As you guys have spent your time here, you also have been able to watch out the window that although a month has passed for you, only 3 days has passed outside of the King's Head. And the entire time you've been able to watch almost in a slow motion like design, as the siege continued at Dragon's Gate. Both sides continuously battling a almost hopeless battle, being fought on both sides at this point. Neither side really giving an inch. More of the undead who have suddenly popped up inside the city, managing to more gain the upper hand on from both armies. As you guys continue to watch, you do see a strange gray fog that appears momentarily and then vanishes almost just as quickly. After a day or two, you suddenly find yourself seeing the gray fog once again pop up, as it appears that something was going on. You're not sure what, but a strong sense of arcana seems to be coming from that direction outside the window. As the fog dissipates, a dwarven man seems to walk out, with what looks to be a very similar plate, and design overall to Dolkin's, but being a bit heavier set than Dolkin himself, and a little lighter skinned. This dwarf seems to come out with a group of dwarves behind him, all in similar designs, each wearing what looks to be some sort of holy symbol, as they begin to start chanting, and a great light is seen. As this light appears over the city, it seems to create a bright flash almost immediately, and as you guys are slightly blinded looking out momentarily, as the light seems to dissipate, you see much of the undead turning to ash, and dissipating, as the clerics seem to have also vanished. The high elves seem to begin to their retreat, while those few left to Dragon's Gate seem to start to consolidate their forces, and those few troops who are still standing seem to begin to prepare defenses once again with a new palisade. As you notice that the walls that used to protect Dragon's Gate, made of a mix of osmium and I forget the other material off the top of my head, seem to have crashed down and has been completely destroyed. The inner walls themselves for the inner keep also seem to be charged from a bright white marble designed to almost a blackened husk of what it used to be, with the gold inlets that were designed into the wall seeming to melt into a almost tear-like material as it would re-solidify. The college itself, that was known to be at the center of the keep, would be also destroyed during this bright magic by the looks of it. Um, and overall, the fire will be is slowly put out that was raging throughout the city. The two armies seem to have retreated to their own areas, with the Dragon's Gate focusing on the inner city and piling up those corpses that were left behind, creating burn piles and raising up tents everywhere they can, while the High Elves seem to retreat back about a good 20 miles out just to set up a new camp while they are able to reorganize their forces. And that's where we come back to the party still sitting inside the tavern, Zelm looking about you lot. What the hell? That was an interesting sound. Um, and almost starting to get ready, getting his materials together as it seems that he is getting ready to leave. Does anybody have anything they would like to do before I continue?
I'd like to ask a request of Dulkin. Could you carry my armor of invulnerability? Because I'm over my carrying limit and it's heavy armor, so I can't wear it, and I want to sell it. But if I have it on me, I'm gonna be like disadvantaged. So could you hold on to it for me?
Just strap it onto the backpack. Just strap it on.
Okay, thank you, thank you. All right.
Zaya just kind of goes up and starts wrapping leather around this thing. Dolkin, you feel a nice cool touch of metal on your slightly touching your back, as this thing seems very heavy. And you
Damn.
the joke of this being cool invulnerable armor comes up once again, as the request for this item was that it was some cool armor. Let us not forget.
Really? Did I say cool?
Yep,
Oh.
you said some cool.
Yep.
You asked for some
I
cool
never
armor
got
for
a
the party.
wish. I didn't get a wish at all. And now I got armor I
So
can't even use.
so what was created was armor that looks almost identical to the armor of invulnerability, but the only thing it does is give you resistant to cold damage.
Which I have already.
Really?
Uh-huh.
And I can't even wear it because it's heavy.
Yeah, I think the only one in the
Can I
party who
sell
can
it?
actually wear it is Dolkin.
Yeah. Oh wait,
And
Ven?
he
Can
doesn't even
Ven?
want to wear it.
Well, Dolkin
Ven's a
has his own
cleric,
set.
right?
Ven is a cleric, but the fact is, I don't. I did have him restat, so I don't know if he is set up for it. But Zelm seems to come watch this and kind of smile, almost trying not to chuckle at the situation. He looks to you a lot and says, "Well, you all have your missions, and not that I'm ungrateful for the company and the time we've spent together." As he looks at Dolkin and smiles. As we will never forget, Dolkin's hidden feat is the fact that he has a natural charisma boost to dealing with every single
Yep.
NPC.
Yeah. It explains a lot of things.
But he also seems to have a hidden feat that I didn't come up with, where he can't roll intelligently. Um,
Nope.
even with glasses. What was the my mission again? I'm old, damn it. And Zelm looks at you and says, "I'm older." But allow me to restate what I told you. Let me find it. With your immortality back, I give you the hardest task of all. And you just start to see him playing, but almost playing back a sort of minor illusion of him speaking. I request that you travel deep into the lair of the Spidian Queen to the burning tree, and bring me a single piece of its fruit. The journey alone will cause death and destruction, but the tree itself is said to be impossible to get near without both the queen herself or the tree killing you. This fruit is highly prized, for it can grant any mage, more magic than the gods themselves, and we need this fruit if we are to stave off the inevitable destruction. And the
Sounds
minor illusion
fun.
seems to dissipate. And he looks at you lot and says, "Now I'm going to explain something to you lot before I send you on your way, just so you have a better understanding of exactly what you're walking into. The world, as we know it, in the next 5 years is predicted to become a hellscape. As is expected with any new age, it comes with its own turmoil. With the merging of both Silencia and Incremia, we have a problem of a new hierarchy of magic. As he looks to Dolkin and Ven, you two being of divine magic users, probably have sensed that the entirety of the divine hierarchy has gone into whack. The High King is no longer sitting upon his throne. Now he is maybe a powerful god, but he is just as equally powerful as some of the gods from Incremia, which causes issues. Without any sole leader, there is due to be battle. Thanks to Zilpip and his great intelligence, what I've predicted is that in the next 5 years, if our side doesn't win, those who can't cast arcane magic will be enslaved. Those who can will be tossed into towers where they'll be turned into generators for magic. The Heli and the Helio, to you lot in the common term, would be Asimar. But whereas they do differ that they get their magic from divine dragons rather than the gods themselves, have managed to build up a large enough military force and have started to ally with people. I plan to create a front to avoid them being able to defeat us and basically cause this future. I'm turning Dragon's Gate into the last bastion, if you will, of any chance that this future will not happen. And you lot have the great task of going out and gaining us allies at this point. While I shore up the defenses, help out Grim Legacy, and try and figure out what the hell I'm to do with all of these screw-ups that they've caused. The Rakshasa were just the beginning. A full invasion of something far worse is coming, and I expect it to get very dicey. But if what I have predicted, there is a chance that we can win. This chance only comes if both you lot and the Grim Legacy work together to create this wall, if you will, against this force of evil. Well, evil to us at least. With that, I have given you your quests. I will toss you out into the city of Dragon's Gate where you may figure out what to do with yourselves. As you can see, the city is fully back under our control and is being rebuilt slowly. I do recommend that you try and pick a direction and go there and get your jobs done quickly, for the Heli and the Helio should be here within 5 years. Also, before you leave, and he walks up to E2 and kind of leans down to whisper in her ear, I'm about to send you
Yeah.
a message, Phil.
Oh, this is makes me
So wait, are
nervous.
we having to split up, basically? All of us? You
No,
are an old man,
we'll do
then.
one of our quests at a time as a group, and then move on to the next.
Alright, that seems
Dolkin's the
smarter.
smart one.
Yeah.
And he looks at you and he smiles for a second and goes, do remember that many things have fallen only to rise to more exalted heights. For what we do
Oh,
now
wow.
will echo for an eternity. Bonus points to whoever knows who I'm quoting. Um, and yes, as he kind of leans up to say those quotes after speaking to E2, he says, you lot will have the chance to walk about Dragon's Gate. However, I do not recommend staying too long, as Aaron is probably still in a bit of an angry situation, as I'm predicting she should be found here anytime soon with a broken leg. In which I have to go and deal with that. For you lot, I recommend heading to the southern portion of town. Okay. Remind me what the point was for, by the way, Ven. Um, I recommend you heading to the south of town. There you will find your first lead on the missions each of you have been assigned that I am so sure that you have promptly remember. Oh, yes, thank you.
Remember, yeah. My memory's great. I remember everything you told me.
Yep.
It's not
Yep.
like the DM video records everything. And he looks at you lot, and so if there are no other questions, you will be on your way.
Will we be able to contact you again?
I fear that we will not be speaking until the night of the battle.
Hmm.
So most likely I will not see you for the next 5 years, in which you will be, hopefully in that time, gaining strength, power, abilities, well beyond even what Grim Legacy has achieved. For if you two parties do not, well, I'm sorry to say that, with sending, yes, I know sending, damn it. I can contain whoever I want. Contact,
Are
you
you
mean?
drunk? Are you drunk?
Still doesn't spell contact, right? Maybe, tossing a cat into an oven, I guess, was a lot more difficult for him than we thought. Maybe Sugar got a couple licks in before everything happened. Um, he looks at you lot and says, "No, you will not be speaking to me, for there are many issues I will be dealing with. You are not the only ones who will be going on their own quest. I have my own contacts I have to get with." And with that, as he mentions that, you see what looks to be a little tiny figure of about 2 feet tall and what looks to be a robe walking up behind him. And otherwise, he seems to kind of just stop speaking and wait to see if you guys have questions or to kind of shoo you out.
What's my mission again?
And with that, he shoos you out with a giant gust of wind out the door. Even Dulkin managing to be picked up with sets of armor as he's shoved out.
Ah.
You guys find yourselves standing in a bustling town. Half of it burned down, but people seem to be overall rather happy and in good moods as they seem to speak and be drinking, some carrying materials. Um, and yeah, overall, it seems quite a
I
lively
need
town.
to find a shop that I could sell the armor at.
Well, you see a few that are down the southern main road. Many of the stores are still open, although it does seem that they're focusing more on the selling of construction equipment and materials rather than individual items at this point. So, as you start to look about, you can see what looks to be an armor shop. You see what looks to be a picture on the sign of it's basically a simple wooden sign with a helmet and a hammer on it.
I'll go to that shop then.
I assume the rest of the party
Duncan?
follows.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, Duncan, can you carry that for me into the shop?
You have another set of armor,
What?
or just the one you already gave me?
The one you already gave me.
Oh,
I mean, I have to
jeez.
sell another set of armor, but I can carry that one.
For fuck's sake! Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's go. Let's go.
As you lot head in, E2 and Ven also following, I assume, behind. Um, a lot of you managed to walk in. Dolkin, it's a little bit of a tight squeeze into this doorway. It seems to be a little thinner than you were
Pivot,
expecting.
pivot.
With
In the
his
door.
second armor. Yeah. As you manage to come in, you see a rather bald faced dwarf sitting there hammering away at something. He's with his very dark, almost charred black skin, a very white, well cropped beard. He looks very aged. You'd guess him probably be in his later years of life. Um, you also notice that his eyes are kind of almost clouded over somewhat as he is hammering away at a piece of metal.
Uh, excuse me, sir. I'd like to sell some armor sets to you.
He does not speak.
Hmm.
It's at this
His
point you notice that there's a tiny little bell sitting at the front or at the front area where where normally he'd be receiving customers.
oh, my apologies. I'll ring the bell.
And as you smack the bell, a loud and almost thunderous sounding of a bell, probably about 4 times the size of the building, seems to almost shake the ground around you. As he kind of looks over in your direction, says, "What do you want?"
I would like to sell 2 armor sets to you, sir.
He picks up what looks to be a wooden cudgel and starts to walk over. As he gets closer, he doesn't seem to really look at you, more in the general direction, and seems to be tapping with his cane. And goes, "You're gonna have to speak up, little boy. I can't understand you."
I would like to sell you this, and I struggle to lift the armor, untie it from Duncan, and slam the cool armor of invulnerability on the table. This very
You don't have to shout, young boy. I can see. As he kind of
yes,
starts to
I'd like to
feel it.
sell this armor to you. I believe it's of very high quality. I acquired it recently, but I'm afraid it can't be of use to me. And then this armor, and I just set down normal leather armor, just some old set I need to get off.
Ah, and he kind of starts to feel it. What's the other armor you're selling?
Just normal leather armor
Uh,
that I've just been carrying around.
this entire time.
It's just my first. We never had a chance to sell anything. It was like my first armor, and then I got studded leather, and it's like I don't need this.
He starts to kind of feel leather armor and says, huh, I'll give you, mm, 10 gold pieces for it.
All right.
And he starts to slide over the gold coins. They're dwarven coins, which is kind of unique since many of the people over in these areas use either elven or genocide gold. But and starts to feel at the armor. He says, he starts to sniff the air really, like almost very heftily. One of you smells of smoke and ash. There's a smith amongst you.
Oh yeah, that'd be me.
What's your name, youngling?
Dolkin.
Natural
Dolkin what?
charisma.
Dolkin Helm Shaper.
Oh, fair enough.
Have you heard of the clan?
Well, of course I would. I'm Olgum. Olgum Helmshaper.
Oh shit me sideways.
As he just kind of looks at you. Yeah. Yeah. Guess we didn't expect anybody over here, I'll be honest. I know, you must be, oh, what's his name's? I don't remember anymore. I haven't talked to the clan in so long. But anyways, good to know there are still Helmshapers alive. I take it you haven't been to the tomb yet.
No, I haven't made it that far.
Let me guess, your father hasn't told you a damn thing.
No. We've been separated for a little while. I've been looking for smiths to hone my trade. You know.
Uh, your father's an idiot. As he starts to kind of grab the bridge of his nose and almost like he's somewhat got a pain in his head and goes, to be a true helm shaper and to gain the true smithing knowledge of our clan, you're going to have to reach the tomb deep within the mountains of the old mountain dwarf territories. It's a rite of passage for every helm shaper. The fact that you haven't, given your age and the smell of you, tells me why you're not doing too well. Let me guess. The armor you're wearing right there, or the armor you have on you right there, isn't your make?
I've made it personal. Yes.
Talking about the armor of invulnerability you've got there,
Oh
boy.
no, that shit. No, I don't know how to do that.
I figured as much. When I was your age, by that point, I'd already managed to make an armor that the gods favored. Anyways,
Hey, speaking of favored by the gods,
yes.
have you made only armor by it or any weapons?
I've made weapons, I've made armor, I can make anything. I even made a golem once.
Do you have any tips for making weapons honored by the gods?
Kill a god, use his blood. Kill the god's enemy, use their blood. In my days, that's what we used. We used blood sacrifices. Similar to, what's his name? I forget the old man's name. Give me a moment. He starts to think back. And you can clearly see this man's like going to a place in his head at this point. Contemplating something overall. And he goes, "There's a dwarven smith. He worked for the High King. What was his name? God, it sucks getting old. I don't recall anymore.
Can I do a religion check?
Go ahead."
See if I know. Okay, yay. First check of the session. Guys, wish me luck.
Then Zorwin yells out Hephaestus, and he goes, "No, that wasn't his name."
13.
Well, I mean, it's a pretty well-known story, even amongst, especially amongst bards, because this is a pretty well-sung about story about doom and sadness and the loss of loved ones. Hemescus is the gnome smith. He sacrificed his entire clan to make a weapon to kill gods, basically, for the High King, so the High King could take his throne.
Oh. Well then.
In fact,
Mestis?
it's also written about the fact that the time fornicators even supposedly fought him at one point.
Oh. I lean over to Dolkin. I don't think you want to try the method he's talking about. Did he already say how much he'd give me for the armor of invulnerability yet?
He did not.
Okay. I'll wait patiently.
And he looks back at you and says, little boy, I'll give you. And he starts rummaging about his equipment. I don't have anything worth a while to give you in exchange for, or as far as gold wise. Let me look and see if I have any items that might be of use to you. It has been a while since I've managed to find something of value. What is it you seek?
What I seek? I
Do
seek.
do I need to repeat myself? Oh my God,
I
you
seek
youthlings!
something to aid my magic and aid perhaps my offensive capabilities. I have many battles ahead of me, and I fear my weapons in their current state may not be enough, or my magic.
What do you use for a weapon, young lady? Or wait,
Well, I have
I can't tell. The smell of you lot. I smell dog more than anything.
the dog's a lady. I have my
sorry.
rapier, my dagger, and my crossbow.
You have a rapier, eh? Give it
hmm
here.
I hand it over.
You realize as he goes to grab it, he manages to cut his hand as he doesn't realize he's grabbing the blade and looks at you. Yes, you, boy, come here. As he points to Dolkin and grabs him. He completely ignores Ved, not even paying attention to him. As he kind of grabs Dolkin by his armor and almost pulls him with a strength that is really unrealistic for a man of his age. He starts to pull Dolkin back and says, "See this?" As he holds up what looks to be a piece of gold.
Yes, I see that.
Good. I can't. What is it?
It's definitely a piece of gold.
All right, I've got the wrong thing. Go into the back and find me the big purple piece of metal.
Sure thing.
As you walk back, you can see there are masterpieces. Some of this armor is probably worth more than entire cities. And the amount of enchantments and the equipment. I mean, they are beautiful. He's got from basic leather all the way up to some of the most fancy plate you've ever seen, stuff that a king would wear. And in the back corner, there seems to be like these massive chunks of different color metals. Some are black, orange. You finally see one that shimmers as a purple color. That seems to be almost as big as you and weighs nearly a ton. Go ahead and give me a strength check to see if you can pull this.
Best of luck. Can I inspire him?
No. He's in the back room.
16.
As you manage to kind of grab it, this thing is so heavy that you almost have to completely drag, pulling it with you, out to the room.
Leave a
As
dent on the floor.
actually, yes, in fact, as it seems to rake up the ground, as the ground is made of dirt. It's not a solid surface. As you finally manage to pull it in, man kind of looks in your general direction and goes, hurry up, boy." As he kind of walks over and literally just picks it up one-handed and walks over to the forge with it. "You need some gauntlets, boy. There's look for him on your travels. Some gauntlets of strength to help you out."
Sure. I'll keep it in mind.
Write it down on your list. You helm shapers today, I tell you, they have no idea how good they have it these days. When I was your age, I had to fight an entire army of Dragonborn. Ugh. Alright, and he starts just hammering away. His hammer seems to glow almost to a molten color and seems to have these strange green rivulets through it as he smacks it into a shape. And he just manages to cool it off within only 10 minutes or so to a full shape of a rapier with a nice emblazoned handle, and it's all one piece, so this should not break with you. And he hands it straight to you, Zaya.
Thank you so much. And I'll take it and look it over.
As you look it over, you've never seen a weapon of this craft in person before. I mean, it's a rapier, and it's made of a purple metal. You have no idea what it does, though.
Can I make an Arcana check on it?
Go ahead.
All right, let's see if I get a better roll. I got 14 this time. Hey.
You have no idea what it does.
Okay. Can I ask its capabilities, sir? As I lightly kind of test the grip, see the weight of it.
It feels really comfortable in your hands, almost as if he handcrafted it to your palm with only having touched your hand once. He looks to Dolkin again and says, "Oi, boy, tell her take a look at it and try and figure out what it does."
I'll stare intently.
Roll an
With your new
intelligence check.
glasses.
Yes, with your advantageous glasses, accidentally slashes Benzora. I wouldn't recommend doing that. I'm gonna be honest.
I know how
got
to
a-
handle a rapier, thank you.
A 16.
All right. Let me give you a quick, so that way he can tell you, not me. It makes it more fun.
Oh,
Oh. Oh?
did you really make her one of those?
Alexian nods and says, "Well, I mean, I can't really pay for this item otherwise. It's fair trade."
All right,
What's
Zaya, that's a Vorpal rapier.
a Vorpal rapier and her eyes light up?
She has no
Really?
idea what that does. He looks to Dolkin and says, "Aye, it's not hard to do it.
I'll pull off the cool armor of invulnerability I have and just slam it on the table. I will give you this for whatever books you have on how to do all of the things in that back room."
Give me 1 minute. I'm gonna add this to her inventory. He looks to you and says, you want a book on how to do what I do?"
I want the knowledge. However you want to give it to me, that's my trade right now.
For your armor, I'll tell you what. Oh, here. All right, now I can add it. You make it to that tomb. You tell. Well, you wouldn't know him, unfortunately, but you tell Grommel that he is the biggest waste of space that has ever existed in this world. Return to me, and I'll make you and I'll teach you how to make anything that you would like. Did that go through? Or did everything? Yep. Okay, I'll make sure.
Hold on.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're writing notes, aren't you? He looks to Isaiah and says, "But I must admit, you're going to have to spend time." You would not, Ven. You've never heard of this person. He looks to Isaiah and says, "Yes, you'll have to spend time attuning to the item. Otherwise, it'll be useless. I suggest you spend the night figuring it out. I will mention there is something inside it that even Dolkin here wouldn't know about. As Dolkin probably doesn't know too much about our family's history, as he's not ever been to our own tomb." He kind of says it with a bit of disdain.
I only know what I've been told.
The Helm Shapers, we are able to do a special craft Going back, way back, we learned how all those who visit the tomb as rite of passage are required to do so because they learn how to work as a soul smith. Not a domain smith, as I can smell on you. That was the stones, and you better learn how to be a soul smith, otherwise I swear to God, I will come down there and make sure I unleash our holy wrath on you. Wonder what immortal blood would get me. But inside that blade is a actual soul. That means that you will have to spend time with this thing. It will speak to you, it will try and convince you to do things, similar to what a warlock is to deal with. Be careful not to be swallowed up by it.
Whose soul is it, if I may ask?
You may not. Now,
Oh,
if there is nothing else, he looks to Doken. By the way, give me that armor. You don't need it.
You're correct. Here it is.
He kind of takes it and says, if I sell it, the gold will be waiting for you when you return.
Wonderful.
Then he kind of goes and picks it up. Again, one-handed this thing and just sets it down on a shelf that
pinky
completely
finger.
cracks. And he looks to Dolkin and says, don't worry. One day, you'll be able to do as much as I am. For I can see it in the smith's fires still. But, otherwise, if there's nothing else you require of me,
No, I am set. Thank you.
good. He looks to the dog and says, is there anything the pooch would want?
I can't technically use my armor either. Should I sell it too?
It's up
I
to you.
would trade it, yes.
Ugh, ugh, here.
He looks
I
at it and says, God, what did you... He looks to Dolkin and says, what did you do? Make a deal with a demon?
Probably.
Oh, you boys these days, I tell you. You know, in my days, we just knew the fact that you didn't mess with gods. You kill them, you sell them, you beat the living hell out of them, and you call it good. Alright, what do you want, Missy, for it?
I don't know. Money, I guess.
How much?
What's the highest bargain I can get for something like this? It's from a demon god, you know. That's pretty special.
He looks at you and says, you know I can tell you're lying, right? Anyways, as far as it goes, these are still elven make. They're not of dwarvish make, so they're not as strong as the true thing. My guess is you got this off some wish. 'Cause no smith would have the materials to make it this quick, especially for weaklings like you lot.
You're right.
So, I'll tell you what. I'll put it on my shelf, I'll set it up, and if someone trades me anything for it, you'll have whatever they trade me for it. Otherwise, I only have 600 gold pieces in the shop.
Sounds like a deal to me.
So, alright. Who knows,
You,
maybe one of the Grim Legacy will come down and buy it. He looks to Ven and says, you want to sell yours too, huh? What do you want, you tree-hugging bastard?
Hey, not to Ven.
Listen, lassie, I fought against the elves. I've slaughtered more than you can count. And I know a changeling when I smell one. Your kind is just as bad, if not worse than his. You not know what your people did to some of those. Damn snake people can tell you more about that. That's none of my business. Now, what do you want for it? For the armor. Give him a second to type out. Gives Dolkin a chance to write notes. Some Phoenix down armor or a long sword. You want Phoenix armor? For an elvish boy? No. You won't see me making Phoenix armor for an elf. You want a long sword? Sure. I'll make you a long sword. Boy, he looks to Dolkin again. Go fetch me the black metal.
Yep, on those way.
as you go back there, the black metal seems a lot lighter, oh, well, much more so. As you pick it up, it's really not that difficult. Being able to almost bend it with your hands. As you bring it back out, he kind of takes it from you and sets it down and says, "Give me a moment." And he starts smacking it again with his hammer as he chants something in very deep dwarvish. And as he produces a piece to you, give me a moment. If I get a cheap longsword.
What are you gonna do? Fight him?
He produces basically a simple longsword. That just, I mean, it looks like a normal longsword. It isn't very unique in any way. It does seem to be different from a normal one, only the fact that it's made of a black metal. Um, you're welcome to give me an Arcana check, or Dolkin can try and give me another intelligence check to figure out what it does. I'll take either. Dolkin, all right, Dolkin, you want to give me an intelligence check as you
Nope.
see this? No, just no.
I definitely did not roll a 1. Nope. Uh-uh.
As you look at the sword, you're pretty sure it's a sword.
Maybe. Could
It
be an
might be a
axe.
few inches off of a longsword. You're not sure though.
I got stuck up on semantics. I'm like, is that a long sword? Is that a bastard sword? Is that a short sword?
What truly is a long sword?
Olgum looks at Doc and just goes, "Oi, your father and I need to have a long talk." Uh, as you look at it, you get the sense that it is a decent longsword. It seems to. I am going to take off the armor and vulnerability off your character sheet, by the way. Um, it comes off as a longsword of vengeance. It's a simple item, not very dangerous, but you've heard tale of these swords like this that are typically cursed, so you need to be careful when you attune to this.
Don't get caught up in curses again. I will be very upset if another curse is laid upon us.
How cursed is the sword? Olgum looks at you and just says, basically, once you take the sword, you can't get rid of it. Not that bad.
Hope you really, really like this sword then.
He looks at E2 and says, "It's a good sword, thank you very much. I personally craft it. It is cursed metal. You know how hard it is to get cursed metal in this day and age?"
Can I leave the store?
He just turns and leaves. The old man goes,
Yeah, he already insulted Ben and then he insulted me. And now he's yelling at me. I'm just gonna stand outside for a bit.
as you stand outside, you can see people bustling. Everyone's definitely in a better mood outside. The crotchety dwarf seems to be the only one in an upset mood. He looks at you and says, "No, you can't throw it and return it. But it's a good weapon. I will mention you don't want to use anything other than it, but not my problem."
Nothing other than it. Oh, Ben,
Quiet
make the
out there,
right
dog.
choice.
Don't make me get the nails. He looks to Doka and says, our family used to eat dog. Although I'm not sure the changeling dog would, if that's technically. Never mind.
It's
See,
not technically a dog.
dog changeling semantics. It says, but why a cursed sword just because? Yes, because you're an elf. No, it's because it's the best metal or the most metal I had to make a long sword out of. If you've got a problem with it, don't take it.
Should have asked for a short sword.
Now, if you will excuse me, I have to make a bunch of nails to put back this town, and maybe to catch a dog or two.
Oh, ruh-roh.
I hear there's a giant boar around here as well. And that just sounds good right now. Get the spit roaster. I'll take it, but no, be it. All right. You see,
Does
he
it
does.
work like that?
Yeah, he can take. He doesn't have to equip it. He doesn't have to attune to it. You do see a bucket in the front of the store that like has a bunch of like simple weapons, of mixed weapons that are all listed as a gold piece each. And he goes, "All right, if you have nothing else of me, get out of my shop, and Dolkin, tell your father that he needs to visit me more. The man still owes me money from the betting pool.
Will do.
Oh, and don't go dying. I have money on that your uncle dies first."
I'll do my best.
All right, as you guys start to head out of the store, people are still out bustling about. It's still mid-morning, overall. You hear some swearing off in the distance from what sounds like a very angry woman, and a very angry dwarf yelling, but that seems far off and something you don't want to get involved in, as a few of you recognize the voice somewhat, or at least it sounds familiar. Oh no, Ven. Yes. Let me guess. Perception check. You want to find out who it is? Let us see. Give him a moment. Okay, he's keeping quiet. Oh, okay. You need to learn to type faster, Cameron. Ugh. Nope. Hugging you two and saying, "Don't let the old dwarf bug you." All right.
Aww.
As you guys continue heading out of the city, or heading to the southern portion of the city,
All
uh,
dwarves are bastards.
only in their mother's eye. As you continue heading south, you finally come across what looks to be a open tavern, which, although there are people or there are drinks being served to workers, it seems more that people visiting and stopping by are getting messages and mail from this place. Um, the design of it seems to be a simple crow. I'm still broke. That's true. You are, and you just got ripped off for that sword. I'm gonna be honest. Um, though you do see someone very familiar. A very tall, very elvish looking woman seems to be walking about with her pale hair, her green eyes, and seems to be serving drinks as well as handing messages to different workers. Zaya immediately recognizes this person as Alluvia.
Yep. Do I have a disguise spell?
No, but you do see a
This is
goat too walking
awkward.
about.
By the gods.
um, as
I
you
just.
as you guys continue walking towards, she immediately sees you and almost completely recognizes you and runs right up, and she seems to have gotten taller and filled out even more.
Wouldn't she. Does she run up to me or Dulkin?
It seems to the general party direction at this point.
Yeah, I'm looking at my Warpole Raper. I'm checking it out. So I
Okay.
gotta tune to it
Yep.
soon. So.
I see you running over, and I go, "Hey!" and I put my arms out for a big hug.
She runs up and literally grabs you and starts to try and kind of pick you up a little bit, and then puts you back down, barely lifting you.
Oh, it was a good effort. You tried.
You've been eating well. I'm so happy to see you. And she just squeezes harder and goes, "I've got a message for you, actually."
Ooh, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
And she pulls out a letter and starts to open it up and says, "Your father wishes you well. He wants to let you know that your little brother has returned, has finished his armor, and apparently even served fighting against the Alethians in the over in the um, Dark Dwarves land. I think that's how it's pronounced. Dwarvish is a rough language for me."
Oh, that it is. That it is. So that's good to hear. It's good to hear he's doing well.
Yes, the family seems to be doing well as well. Your uncle came through town a few weeks ago. I do know that, but otherwise, yeah. How have you been? I've missed you so much.
It's been interesting. Things have happened. Some
Yeah,
of them in different order than others.
I've heard that. I mean, I came here expecting a new life, and I find a burning city. It was a interesting experience to walk into. Have you seen Zaya? I've missed her so much.
She was just with me. Where is she? She's still around
I'm
here.
literally just standing there looking at my rapier, testing the weight in my hand. I haven't said anything, but I'm not hiding.
She looks over and she sees E2 and kind of pats E2 on the head, kind of just nodding
Can
and
I do a
yeah.
insight check to see if she actually means that when she says that? That she misses me so much?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. I got a 14.
She seems to be telling the truth. Although
Okay.
there seems to be more of a hint to a lusty view on that than anything.
Okay.
And
Oh.
as she kind of looks over and after petting E2 on the head, she kind of skips Van completely and goes over, Zaya! And she literally grabs you and pulls you into a hug.
Okay. Oh, I'm light, so if
Your
she's strong, I'm
your
assuming
face
she
is
picks me up.
straight. Your face is straight into her stomach as she's gotten taller.
Oh, oh, she. Oh. Ah, Olivia! I'm glad to see you're alive after the incident at the
You mean the
other.
earthquake of that damn boar? I saw that he's out there
Yes.
fighting too. Now he's working on the city. He even paid for a group of drinks. Good man. Sad thing is my brother didn't make it, but we.
Well, I should hope he's doing useful things. A even better man died for him to live.
That's true. I forgot about that. I'd heard news about his passing. It wasn't great. I'm honestly surprised you lot lived this long. I'll be honest, trouble seemed to follow you lot as she kind of backs away again.
Yes, well, if we're cursed, I hope there's a cure.
Well, I mean, I've got the goat if you're not interested again. We can see if we can find a cure out of that.
I don't want goats involved.
She just kind of smiles at that. Um, I do have someone who's been looking for you actually. And
Oh?
she's kind of rubs her chin for a second. It's a Phyllis, a tiny little thing. Um, she, it's a she. What was her name? And she goes, Kidane, I think, or Quidane, something like that. She mentioned that she knew a one of your companions. They come from the same group. The cat fellow you were
D-
walking with, the Tabaxi.
Dibbis.
Yes, him. That's exactly it. Yes.
Do you know where she is?
She's been sitting in the tavern drinking all day. I thought she was a dwarf at first. I'm gonna be honest. But she mentioned she had news for you. So I mean, if you'd like, rounds on me. As she
Thank
kind of gives
you,
a smile.
Olivia. Thank you. I'll take you up on that offer, although no more of the drink you gave me last time with the goat.
She kind of looks and says, "Well, to be fair, actually, the old one there paid for it." But anyway, then she starts walking off.
I'll follow to the tavern.
All right. E2, Van, and Dolkin, do you follow as well? Or are you gonna
Yep,
wait
I'm
around?
going with.
Oh, and I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna give you
sheathe
free
my
drinks.
rapier. I'm
Okay.
not gonna have
She
that
said
in
she
my
said she was
hand
gonna
while I
give you a
enter.
free round, E2.
Well, I'm going then.
All right. As you guys walk in, she kind of sits you guys down at a table and says, I'll go get her. Give me a minute." And she kind of gives a wry smile at Dolkin for a second and heads back into or back to the back area to go fetch some stuff. You start to realize she seems to be the owner of this tavern. So, she kind of heads into the back and starts going about her business. After about a few minutes, she brings out drinks and says, the young lady will be out with you here in a moment," as she sets down some dark ales. Says, "Enjoy
Thank
on the
you.
house."
Before she walks away,
Uh-huh.
I just wanna. Back at the other tavern that fell apart on top of us.
Yes, yes.
Before we split, you gave me a ring. Did that mean anything to you? Was it like a special ring of something or another? I've just been holding on to it this whole time.
She looks to you and says, oh, we'll talk about when you return. I've been told that you're heading out of town, so maybe it's not the best of time.
Zaya's gonna like rub her temple.
She just kind of gives a smile at that and kind of heads back.
A ring, and you didn't think that.
What? It was.
And I take a big drink of my ale.
As
It
Ben
was
looks down at
literally a
Dolkin.
building falling on us. I didn't have a lot of time to think about it.
As Ben looks down at Dolkin and says, "It's a wedding ring, lad." um,
Yes.
she seems to kind of every once in a while glance at Dolkin's way and blush every time that he looks towards her as she goes about
Duncan,
working
I
her
have
way.
a question for you. I have a question for you. And I'm gonna like slightly push my drink to the side and look at him seriously. How are you so naturally charismatic? Because I've been a bard like all my life, and it's for some reason it seems like everyone likes you more. Which I agree. You saved my life. You're pretty heroic in that sense. But if you have like an item on you or a curse or a blessing, I would love to know what you have so I could get that.
No. You see, here's the thing. You just have to stop trying to be charismatic and just be charismatic.
And she takes another big drink.
At that, as Dolkin finishes up saying that, a tiny orange Fellis comes walking out and a rather large piece of armor overall, carrying a staff with her. And she just looks
Ah,
at Dolkin at that mention of the as she says that and says, "I agree. I would say that if you don't have it, you'll never have it. And the elven lass seems to have it bad for you there. My name is Quidane. I am a littermate of you, if you will, of your old traveling companion Dibus.
it is an honor to meet you. I am Zaya Ravensong, and I'll nod my head to her.
Yes, I hear my brother passed fighting a pointless war,
Oh,
and
he
that
sacrificed himself for another.
sounds about right. The boy was always a fool like that. Did he happen to mention why he was actually joined you on that quest?
Did he?
Not that you
DM?
recall.
No, he never gave me a full explanation.
I know you saved his life. Something along those lines is what the rumors go. Kind of became a half construct. She looks at Ven with a little bit of worry in her eye. That's good to hear. The future king was a half construct. That's what I want to know. Yes. Anyways, Dibus was heir to the throne after the current Striped Fang king would pass. He had managed to prove himself enough to gain lineage. He was supposed to travel with you long enough to gain himself some strength, some glory, and come back to us. Obviously, that didn't happen. I assume you lot are at fault for that.
I thought he was an outcast.
Is that what he told you?
He didn't tell me much, but the mentions he did made it sound like he had no choice but to leave or rather be left for dead as I found him.
Yes, that is true that he had been beaten by one of our compatriots, but it turned out the man had cheated and poisoned his blade. A dishonorable lot. We Tabaxi follow a similar code to the dwarves in that case. And poison in a duel is not permitted. Anyways, the fact that he is dead is a problem for me, but that's not the point. My requirement by my king has been to come find you, but my requirement to my guild is even more so. I represent one of the members of the New Hope,
Oh,
and I've been sent here to collect you to meet with one of our leaders in the Tiefling colonies. It seems a new push is being requested of all New Hope members. Apparently, we're no longer revolutionaries, if you will, but instead we have become a liberating force. We are being gathered to go and fight against what left in the Tiefling lands. The
so
Rakshasa have taken over the mainland, and we're being sent there to kill them and take back our lands.
so the organization's been getting back together. Last I heard, connections were broken and in a bit of shambles.
Yes, well, we have a leader has finally identified himself, and thus I've been sent to collect you. We got quest. Nope, we got quest. Alright, she looks at Ven and says, "Old man, you need to keep quiet while your betters are talking."
Then these matters, I appreciate you putting your input, but these matters concern me, and I'll agree to whether or not I accept them. What am when am I needed?
Immediately. No questions asked. You and your party are to head there and help out with the fight. Don't worry, it will of course come with value. Um, Whatever you need for your future quests, we will be willing to see if we can offer. And any pieces of loot, of course, will be of availability. We aren't interested in all what's left over from the nobles. Plus, I hear killing Rakshasa is a great way to strengthen one's fortitude.
Well, I'll look to the rest of the party. I know that I am willing to go on this mission, but I guess what are your guys' opinions on the matter?
Petsy
We
too.
gotta start somewhere. I'm in.
Dawkins, the easiest man to get to do what you want.
New Hope has connections in a lot of places, or did before the battles that have been waging. If we are aided by them, I am sure the battle, well, it won't be easy, but it'll be better than fighting on our own, that's for sure.
I do hear that you lot need allies, and not only would you gain us,
Yes.
but the colonies would be willing to work with you as well. So, if you're looking for magical casters and soldiers of fortune, this would be a good place to start. If not, well, then I guess I'll just have to take care of the one who's becoming a problem. As I said, we already have a job. If this helps us forgo a disaster, I will agree. She looks at you and says, well, imagine this, if you will, old elf. Imagine an entire island filled with demonic eating cats that are really good at killing people and disguising as them. Do you really want that at your back when you're fighting on the front? Oh, you have. I'm happy to hear. Well, it's nothing like it used to be. The noble houses are dead. The entirety of the island has been brought to ruin and decay, and anything of value has been either destroyed or captured.
The
And
noble
there's,
houses, even
yes.
Silversong?
I assume you're referring to your mother.
Yes.
No, Zopip is on the island of Rakshasa. He is not he is not in the Tiefling lands. He's in their homeland. She goes, yes, your mother is dead, from what I've been told. From what I understand, most of the Silver Songs have passed.
Including
But
my grandfather?
that I do not know. I know your mother has passed, but we have recovered a few members of the Silver Song family. However, there have been a few nobles that have signed up with us, foregoing any claim to their lands in exchange to build a new republic of sorts, something represented by the people, which is why we've allowed them to work with us. Many just want their
I
homes
see.
back. So, if there will be no other issues, I am happy to guide you there.
Well, I know I'm going, and I'll turn to Itu. I know you specifically were asked to gather allies, so this would be aligned with your job. I don't know
I was
about you,
thinking the same
Ven.
thing.
I don't know about you, Ven. Your quest, the tree, I'm not sure where to go from there, but until we have more information, I don't think we can really follow your quest.
She looks at his eye and says, wait, you said his name was Ven?
Ven Zorwin? Yes.
Ah, well, that's helpful. There might be, from what I've heard from the rumors, that there's been someone shouting his name in the ruins. They say it's some ghostly fellow. Can I get another ale? Like Olivia kind of comes over, hands you a giant mug. Instead of ale, it comes out as rum. Very expensive rum from what you can taste. And she goes, "Yes, there's been a voice. Is it that damn? It's not a lich, from what I understand. As soon as people go to track down the voices, they're gone by the time they get there. I assume it's something to do with you, but who knows? They say his name's She looks about it. God, what was the name? There's a noble name to the to the guy. Uh, she starts to contemplate, and then she pulls out this long list of notes. Legitimately starts to hit the floor almost. As she starts to read through it and goes, yes, doom, hatred, evil, continuing to read through, kind of crossing out things. Oh shit. Lowen? Huh. Wait, what's that roll for? Lowen, Leswin, and she looks at it and says, oh, you're rolling history? History on what? Your family name? Didn't have to roll for that one. I would have given that one to you for free. Maybe. Yeah, your family name is, well, there's been two versions of it that you've seen. Let me pull it up just to make sure I have the proper spelling of it. Give me a moment. I have to scroll to it because DM's got an entire book full of information that no one ever reads because they hate him so much. There it is. The main name for your house is that. And the pronunciation, for those wondering, is Yuzon. Pronounced like that. There you go. It's a name that's long, old, and very well known. She continues and says, yeah, something about a Venzorwin, a Yezwin or something like that. Not my specialties. Anyways, if you lot are interested to follow me, then I'm happy to lead you on this quest.
I have a
However,
question.
yes.
Last I heard, when I was last talked to it by a New Hopes member, there was something called the hunger plaguing our lands. Is that still there?
You poor girl, you're not very bright, I see. The hunger were the Rakshasa. They're a
I
type of
didn't know.
people who eat everybody. Even your fat friend here. As she kind of pats Dolkin.
Rude.
I mean that as a compliment. My homeland, being fat means you're wealthy.
Oh, well, thank you, lass.
uh, God damn it. Kidding. She goes, sadly, he's just inept. Yeah, well, sadly, I'm guessing he's probably the best of the lot of you. Since he's the
Do
only
you
one who's
mind
met it.
another inquiry?
Sure. If it's about the
I
ring
have a
he's wearing, I
question.
can explain that, but it's more entertaining to watch.
I have a question about a group of assassins, tieflings, a group they should have been in close relations to Greg.
You're
I
referring to the
wish to
ones
know
who
about
killed
them.
your cousin, right?
Yes, are they still a group?
Yes. And they're in the center of where we're heading.
Are they allies?
Sure.
Do they have to be?
Our boss will answer all of that. It is not my
Alright.
We need all the help
responsibility.
we can get, you know?
Well, I don't know if you want the help of people like them who'd use the methods they used.
Then Zorwin just starts to
Rock
kind of
lands.
get up and kind of pulls E2 with him as start heading out of the bar.
Why we're leaving already? I didn't finish my drink.
Kadan looks at you and says, so, if you will, we can be on our way. And she looks to Dolkin and
Yes.
says, you might want to say goodbye to your fiancée as she starts to walk away.
Well, it,
I'll follow after her.
I slam a couple gold down on the table. I'll be back.
Olivia just kind of waves and smiles with a subtle
I
giggle.
like how Dulkin's just okay with having a fiance now.
No, just you guys know, Dolkin isn't figured it out yet.
She just said fiance.
Dolkin's not very bright, though. Oh, man. Takes the mug of ale for E2, an elvish fiance. Kadan looks at Venzora and says, he could do worse. His
Why
women all
doesn't
have
Ben
beards.
propose to me? Jeez.
Shouldn't.
Do you want to be married to him?
Silence. Oh, man. What's
I
that all?
don't see myself with anybody else.
Except for the feasting emperor who you cheated on him with for a little
Maybe
while.
you also
I
need
didn't. I
glasses.
didn't. I was mad. I got cursed. I was very pissed.
Now he has a cursed sword,
And
a literal cursed sword.
and then after he cured your curse, you started following him around like a lost puppy.
I know, because he managed to cure my curse and not Ben.
Priorities, man. Ben, you've got a gold digger on your hands. Can't even cure a curse.
No.
What value are you to her? I mean, come on now.
Yeah, I mean,
What would have happened if Dolkin had been the one to cure the curse? Imagine that, Ben. There you go.
ooh. Well, Duncan already had a fiance, so she'd have problems with Olivia.
Oh man.
I have a strange feeling she'd probably just be okay with it.
Oh god. Yeah. As long as, well, I mean, just add a goat in there, and you've got your menage a trois. So as you guys start to head out, you notice that the palace, or where the walls have been, have been erected into a palisade overall. About 6 feet tall. The city itself seems to be pretty vibrant and continuing to be worked on. You get the subtle feeling it'll be better by the time you get back, although you do still hear very loud cursing from what sounds like a human woman off in the distance. And the squeals of, panic on occasion every time that yelling is heard. As you guys head out, um, heading towards the forest, you can see, heading south, you see a giant crater off to your left, roughly about 10 o'clock from you guys, a few miles out. That looks to be, if you had to guess, probably about 20 miles wide and probably a good 40 feet deep. That seems to have something in the center, but it's very too far off to see what it is as you guys are heading in that direction. As Kadain continues to lead towards that, and you guys get closer and closer, you can see that it almost looks like the ground itself was deleted or evaporated. And in the center of the crater seems to be something small. Hacks.
About how small?
You'd guess it to be something like maybe a backpack or purse sized.
Hmm. Can
Hey,
I make an Arcana check?
sure, go ahead. I'm a touch it, walks and then as you start to walk over to the hole, Kadain legitimately just grabs you by the back of your
21.
trousers and pulls. It's a bag of holding that seems to have eaten something and caused it to basically forever create a crater and kill anything that comes within distance of it.
Then, if you touch that, I don't think even your immortal self will survive. So, let's keep on the trail.
As you start to look about, you can actually see like half-eaten deers, an occasional cow that's been like almost chopped off at the edge of the crater, cleanly. It's a bag of holding, 100%. If you're really that tempted. Kadain just kind of pulls Ven a little bit and looks at you two and says, I don't see what you see in this man.
Neither do I.
He's endearing.
Is that a new word for stupid? I don't know common as well these days. It's been many a years.
Normally he's not this stupid.
No, I don't believe you as she continues to
I
walk
think
off.
it's just because he got his immortality back. He's a little loopy in the head.
As he says, hey, we can feed the Rakshasa to it.
Oh, Ben, honey.
Alright, as you guys continue heading south, making it to the giant forest, it starts to darken almost artificially. It's about midday by the time you guys hit this forest. You've traveled quite a bit, almost as if you've not realized that there's been a spell cast on you slightly. That seems to have sped up your walking. And as you make it into this forest that seems to start to darken around you, a deep fog is almost seen, kind of pillowing in all around you. And that is where the D&D game will stop for today. We will come back
Oh, no.
next
Wait,
time. Yes?
when we were walking, did we walk for like an hour?
Yeah, roughly. More than that.
So can I say I'm attuned to my weapon or no?
No, you have to sit down with
No?
it and really get to it.
Gosh darn it.
Um,
Alright.
yeah, if you guys had spent the night in the town, you would have had the chance.
So does it still have the +3 bonus. It just doesn't do the
You can equip it.
critical
It
20 thing.
just equip it, and if it doesn't read what it says and whatever it states, I believe
Okay.
it just doesn't get the crit. Thank you all for who have watched. We will see you with the next time as the encounter begins. We will see if Dolkin finally figures out that he's engaged in a midlife crisis situation in the middle of battle. If E2 will ever find a man worthy of her gold digging nature. If Ven will ever be worthy of being gold digged, and if Zaya ever figures out what's wrong with her life. Thank you all
No,
for
no.
watching. We will see you next time.